2 hours in prime time. On Thursday in Cleveland, 10 Republican presidential candidates will square off at the first debate of the 2016 campaign. You can watch on Fox News or Facebook. Joining us now with some analysis from Washington, D.C., correspondent Chris Casteel. Sir, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Dave. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. We'll dive in here. I assume you're brushing up on your presidential debate trivia and things like that, just in preparation for this tomorrow night, right?
Oh, I'm just totally consumed by it. That's all I do. It's all, just eat, sleep, and drink this debate.
Well, people are certainly consumed with
I'm actually being facetious, just in case.
Well, people are certainly consumed with Donald Trump. Him, Jeb Bush, and Scott Walker clearly in the spotlight here. What do they need to do tomorrow during this debate?
Yeah, I'm not sure, what they can do. I mean, as you said at the outset, it's 2 hours. There's 10 of them. That doesn't mean they're each going to get 20 minutes. I mean, far from it. You're going to have questions, and that'll take up some time, rebuttals. I mean, I think, what'll be interesting is just to see how Trump responds to questions, especially if they call for any kind of specificity. My guess is that he's not, like reading briefing books right now as we speak. So we all know, kind of the way Trump addresses issues and questions, and he's not. I don't think he's going to change. It would be a mistake for him to change, really.
I think you're right about that, Chris, and perhaps that is the key thing here. Is Trump got to this point by being kind of abrasive and blustery, and that's worked for him so far. But it'll be interesting if he brings that tactic before the cameras tomorrow night on Thursday night.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, how, is he going to come off as a policy wonk? Is that the kind of the character he's going to morph into tomorrow? Somebody who talks about exactly how many centrifuges Iran has. I don't think so. He's going to be Trump, and what Walker has to do, what Bush have to do. I mean, they have to be themselves too, right? I mean, does Jeb Bush start acting like somebody else tomorrow? I mean, what they have to do. Convince people they should be the nominee. Convince people they can beat Hillary Clinton. Other than that, I don't really know, what to say about it.
Well, we heard a lot about that during the Southern Republican Leadership Conference, which, by the way, I apparently can still say, Chris, that you were in town for in Oklahoma City a couple months ago. That was certainly some of their sticking points was, hey, here's us versus Hillary Clinton's policy. We're talking about Donald Trump, and perhaps he's taken some of the fire away from guys like Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio.
Right. Definitely Cruz. But I think he's taken the spotlight away from so many people, everybody really. And who knows if that allows, will the media get bored with him? Will he really just kind of run out of stuff to say? He hasn't so far in all the 30-something years that he's been in the media spotlight ever run out of anything to say. So I mean, I just don't know how this will sort out. But really, I just think it's a mistake for. And I know that's the way the media focus has been for how do they deal with Trump on the stage? And it's not like you can ignore the guy. He's beating you. But as I said, people are going to sense if you're being, a phony, trying to put on some kind of act for this debate that's not really you. Go up there, be the candidate that you are in Iowa and New Hampshire, and, let the chips fall where they may.
Other guys we haven't mentioned in this debate, Mike Huckabee, Ben Carson, Rand Paul, John Kasich, and remember Chris Christie. He was the boisterous one before Trump jumped into the ring. Yeah,
right. Of those, I'm not sure, how many have a realistic chance, in this field. All those guys have interesting things to say. You and I, and the other Oklahoman reporters and News OK reporters, covered, Christie. We covered Carson, and they were interesting to watch. And some of and listen to, and some of the candidates who didn't make it into this final 10, Carter Fiorina, Rick Perry, they had some interesting things to say too. So, I don't know. People know Chris Christie. This will be, for a lot of people, this will be the first time they see John Kasich, probably. He was in Congress for a long time. I remember him well. He was, chairman of the Budget Committee. He's a super sharp guy, lots of brain wattage. And now he's governor of Ohio. And guys who really is, has experience in kind of both sides of the executive part as Ohio governor, as a member of Congress, smart guy. So we'll see. Huckabee, probably a lot of people are familiar with, if not from his first run, then as a Fox News host. Carson, probably a lot of people are really interested in seeing how he'll do in a format like this. A lot of people have probably seen him speak by now, but never, had to respond to questions and rebuttals and things like that. So
Carson's certainly well spoken. You mentioned Rick Perry and Carly Fiorina. They'll be on the undercard, if you will, which I believe will be at 4 p.m., a couple hours before the 8 p.m. Oklahoma time presidential debate. Chris, I'll get you out of here on this. What will you be looking for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be looking for unscripted moments from the other candidates. I mean, obviously I'm going to be watching Trump to see what he says, but I also want to see, how these guys can deviate from, just the stump speeches, to respond succinctly, clearly to questions of policy, without just immediately going into the talking points. See who can be genuine, see who can be, again, give clear answers about what they would do, and not just kind of immediately take the question as a reason to go off into, that part of their stump speech.
He's Chris Casteel. He'll provide coverage for us online at newsok.com today, tomorrow, and throughout the campaign. You can also read his coverage in the Oklahoman. Chris, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it.
Glad to do it, Dave.